A man and his wife sold their land, claimed to donate all the money to their church, and dropped dead on the spot. Why such a harsh outcome? What does this ancient story have to do with modern economics? As it turns out, everything. The earliest Christian community wasn't built on rules or taxes. It was built on radical generosity. In Acts 2, we're told that believers had all things in common. They sold their property and pooled the money to care for everyone. It was voluntary. Beautiful. Unusual. Economists model this using a public goods game. Each person gets money. They can contribute some to a shared pool. The pool is multiplied, and then shared equally among everyone. It's best for the group if everyone gives generously. But for each person, the temptation is to let others give, while you keep your own money. That's called the free riding problem, when people benefit from a shared resource without contributing their fair share. It's a simple game with a deep truth: cooperation is fragile. And without trust or enforcement, generosity dries up fast. Now imagine someone plays that free riding strategy in real life. That's exactly what happened in Acts 5. A couple, Ananias and Sapphira, sold some land. They brought part of the proceeds to the apostles, but claimed it was the full amount. In public, they looked like generous givers. In private, they were holding back. It was classic free riding, pretending to contribute fully, while quietly benefiting from others' honesty. But they didn't get away with it. Peter confronted Ananias, "You have not lied to men, but to God." And at that moment, Ananias fell down and died. 3 hours later, Sapphira came in, repeated the same lie, and met the same fate. Harsh? Maybe. But something deeper was happening. This wasn't just moral outrage. It was mechanism enforcement. God stepped in to protect a fragile public good, the shared life of the church. By punishing deception, he sent a signal: this community cannot run on lies. This is why economists talk about the tragedy of the commons. Imagine a shared field. If one herder sneaks in an extra cow, he gets more milk. But if everyone does it, the pasture is destroyed. What starts as small, selfish choices, ends in collapse. That's what was at stake in Acts 5. If deception spreads, trust evaporates. If everyone secretly holds back, then no one gives, and the church's radical generosity disintegrates. God's judgment wasn't random. It was preventive. A necessary shock to protect the system before it crumbled. Economists call this kind of solution mechanism design, building systems that make cooperation sustainable. In lab experiments, when players can punish free riders, contribution rates go up. When you add transparency or reputation tracking, people give more. Even in online platforms, from tipping jars to open-source software, we see it: generosity needs signals, accountability, and sometimes, fear. But the system in Acts wasn't built by economists. It wasn't powered by contracts or algorithms. It was designed by God. Grace was the fuel, changed hearts that wanted to give. Truth was the safeguard, honesty mattered more than image. And when the system came under threat, God himself enforced it, not through bureaucracy, but through awe. This was divine mechanism design, a community held together not by fear of man, but by fear of the Lord. In the end, this story isn't really about money. It's about the heart. Ananias and Sapphira tried to buy reputation without sacrifice, to look generous without being honest. But God doesn't run a system on appearances. In his economy, generosity has to be real. Because the church isn't just a social network. It's a living body, built on grace, held together by truth. And when hearts are honest, generosity overflows.